Hi, this is David Orlofsky. Welcome to the Parsha in 5, where in 5 minutes we try to give you an insight into the Parsha to be able to enhance your Shabbos. Parsha's Ki Seitze. Ki Seitze l'milchama al oivecha. We go off to battle against our enemy. And as many of the Mefarshim point out, the Zohar Kodesh says, whenever it says we're going to battle, all battles are a archetype for the battle against the Yetzer Hara. The only reason we need to fight physical wars is because we need to fight internal wars. If we didn't have to fight internal wars, we wouldn't have to fight external wars. And that's why in the beginning of Parshas Devarim, Moshe Rabbeinu says, we weren't supposed to fight any wars. We were going to march into Eretz Yisrael, and all of the enemies would either die or flee. They will fly away. They will die. No one will stand before us. We did not need any weapons. After the Chet of the Meraglim, since we defeated ourselves, now we had to go and fight a physical battle. But you never have to fight a physical battle unless it's a representation of an inner battle. So there's a lot of inner battles. But the parsha starts with the following story. What's the following story? You go out to battle and you see a beautiful woman. And you are filled with desire for this woman. So we say, well, don't take her. Here's what you should do. Take her home. Let her mourn her parents for 30 days. Let her take off all her fancy clothing, put on simple clothing, let her sit in your house. And if after that you want to marry her, you can marry her. Whether she needs a gerus or not, whole discussion, and then you can marry her. Is this ideal? Of course it's not ideal. And that's why the next parsha comes up and talks about a ben Sora Mora, a rebellious son, because if you marry an Eishes Ifas Toyar, this woman you took in battle, you'll end up with a child who's rebellious because you didn't get married for the right reasons. So why does the Torah allow it if it's such a bad thing? And the answer is, the Chazal say, the Torah was talking to the Yetzer Hara. If I don't find some way for you to have this woman permitted, you will find some way to have her that is not permitted. Use your imagination. Yeah, there's a way to be able to have this woman without being in a permitted way. So we say, okay, better to do it this way. Is it the right way to do it? No. But I'll give you a way, because medaber keneged Yetzer Hara. The Bali Musa have a keen insight. This is the only time that you find that the Torah tells you, because your Yetzer Hara has control over you in a battle, when the blood is burning inside of you, and the cry of the battle, and the horses are thundering, and the clash of sword on sword, and the passions are high. You're in a vulnerable state, and you might end up making a poor decision. So we will give you a way to be able to deal with it. If you're smart, you'll realize your mistake before it's too late, but if not, you'll follow through with it. At least we'll let you have, so to speak, pas basali. The bread is in your basket. There's a way to do this permitted. Say the Bali Musa, you learn from this an important lesson. Everything else you can do. People say, well, these mitzvahs are too hard. Obviously not. Because no other place did the Torah say, I understand this is too hard for you, so I will give you an exemption. You don't have to keep it. This is the only place. Which means everything else you can do. And it's a very important insight. Because we spend so much time arguing our limitations, what we can't do, we don't spend enough time arguing what we can do. Or as I always say, as we are in Elul and the talk about tshuva, we have to remember that when we make a cheshbon nefesh and we see where we've fallen short, just remember that just because I haven't done everything doesn't mean I haven't done anything. And although here is an example of something that is outside of my ability, that means that everything else is inside of my ability. Now, again, where you are holding at this point in your life, you have to be realistic. Change takes time. You have to work towards it. But eventually, you can achieve it if, in fact, You accept for yourself the fact that I am capable. And if I focus on the ability of what I can do, so the things that I can't do are the exceptions. And that will help us to change and become the people we want to be. Shabbos.